All right, hello. Today we're going to take a look at a deck I call Rogues Do It Better. And that, of course, is in reference to Mill. I tried making a mono blue Mill deck here, and while good, I was getting out-milled every time by the opposing player's Rogues decks. So, it became apparent. Rogues do it better. So I set out on building one myself. Now, this deck uses Lurrus, which means a lot of fun rogues are going to be locked off to us. Brazen Borrower, probably the one we're saddest to not be able to include, but it's okay. It's okay, because even with just being able to put in cheap permanents, 1 and 2 casting cost permanents, we still get access to a very nice suite of rogues, all with that milling sub-theme. Let's take a quick look at the deck in the other format here. There we go. All right. So running Lurrus also means we can lean in hard on the mill aspect of rogues. The deck certainly is capable of killing the opponent with damage, and oftentimes does, but it's also very good at milling the opponent. And I think this is probably my favorite mill build so far in Zendikar Standard. Lurrus is great. He gets back all these annoying things. You're familiar with him by now, more than likely, but what he is, we're playing him in the companion slot, so we would have to pay 3 mana to put him in our hand. But he is exterior to the deck. He doesn't count towards our 60 card total. He is in the sideboard. He's the only card in the sideboard. He's a 3/2 life-linking legendary cat nightmare. And during each of our turns, while he's in play, we can cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from our graveyard. All our permanents, of course, are going to be creatures. So anything in this column and this column that's a creature can come back via Lurrus, and often does. And Lurrus isn't the only thing that can bring these creatures back. We're also running 4 copies of Agadim's Awakening, which also doubles as a land. And Agadim's Awakening is actually the perfect tool for getting Lurrus back once the opponent zaps him. Call it Death Dweller. We're only running a single copy. That's our other graveyard recursion card. Of course, this card lets you return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. You can put a Death Touch counter on one of them, and you can put a Menace counter on one of them. And it can be the same creature that you put those on. So let's go ahead and make a quick run down the deck here. In the 1 slots, we're running 4 copies of Merfolk Windrobber. This card's amazing. It's just a superb 1-drop in this deck, especially because enabling it, getting it to where it can draw a card on sacrifice is very easy to do. We're also running 4 copies of Ruin Crab. If you haven't had Ruin Crab played against you, or if you haven't played Ruin Crab, I'll explain it, but I think most people know by now how annoying this little dude is. He has Landfall. He's a 0/3 for 1 blue, which is great for stopping aggro, by the way. But his Landfall ability, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, your opponent will mill 3 cards. So just a single Ruin Crab is all it takes to set the opponent on the path to ruin. Multiples of Ruin Crab is just a bad time for the opponent. We're also running 2 copies of Zulaport, Duelist. This is just to bump up our rogue total a little bit. And it's a nifty little multi-prong combat trick, too, in this deck. Yeah, I've been happy with this inclusion there. I guess you could consider this a bit of a flex slot if you want to try jamming in a couple more copies of something that you like, that the deck is only running 2 copies of, or just any other card. We're also running 2 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst. This is just Zendikar's premier removal card. It's excellent in our deck, too. If you wanted to put 3-4 copies in there, I wouldn't fault you for that. It's just that good. No Rogues deck is going to be right without 4 copies of Thieves Guild Enforcer. When she came out in Core Set 21, she felt a little out of place, like a subpar replacement for Knight of the Ebon Legion. Not as good a 1-drop for black. But now with Zendikar, she really shines. She flashes in, she mills, She gets bigger, gets death touch when your opponent's graveyard gets to the right threshold. She's just amazing, and every Rogues deck runs 4 of these for a reason. And moving up to the 2-drop slot, we have 4 copies of Maddening Cacophony. Just a great card to jam early game. Also a great card to partner up with Sea Gate Stormcaller, which we're running 2 copies of. Sea Gate Stormcaller, that's my spicy addition to the deck list. You don't see too many Dimir mill decks running Sea Gate Stormcaller. I like it. I'm running 2 copies instead of 4, just because you don't want to get too many of these. But basically, for the uninitiated, the Sea Gate Stormcaller, she's 2 to bring out. She's a 2/1 human wizard. She does have a kicker ability, but it's expensive, and we hardly ever play it. In fact, I've never played it. But when she enters the battlefield, you get to copy your next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 2 or less this turn. And if you kicked her rather, you get to copy that spell twice. So basically, she's a living fork. She lets you double up on any of your instants or sorceries in the deck. Since we're running lots of removal in the form of Heartless Act, Drown in the Loch, Bloodchief's Thirst. Moving on, yeah, we have the 2 copies of Heartless Act. Only 2. I did a 2-2 split on Bloodchief's Thirst and Heartless Act because there are some problematic creatures in the format that Heartless Act is going to have trouble getting rid of. Drown in the Loch, though, is our superstar card. More often than not in this deck, this card simply reads, counter any spell, destroy any creature. And for that reason, we're running 4 copies. We're never sad to see it. We're always sad to use it because it's just one of those cards you want to have in your hand in perpetuity, but it can't be. All right, and here we have 4 copies of Soaring Thought Thief. Just another awesome utility rogue in the Rogues deck. Does everything. It lords your rogues, makes them bigger. It flies, it flashes, it mills. It's all the good stuff. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't really need any more explanation. I kind of went over Call the Death Dweller earlier, and Agadim's Awakening as well. We're running 4 copies of this. When you have your Lurrus in the graveyard, if you pay 6, you can get back a whole slew of creatures. Otherwise, it's just going to be a more expensive, crappier version of Call the Death Dweller. You're only going to be able to get back a 1 and 2 drop for 5 mana. Still, though, that's sometimes just what the doctor ordered, especially when you're getting back another rogue or a crab. And it also smooths out our mana base. Because we are running 4 copies of Agadim's Awakening, we're allowed to get away with just 21 lands. Because this being a modal card can be played as a land itself. And then finally, we're running 2 copies of Into the Story. This just gasses us back up and helps catapult us past the finish line late game. Most decks tend to go 3 or 4 copies of this. I just went 2 because, you know, there's just some games where I was just getting too many of them. And it's hard enough to cast it once at times because you want to hold up all your tricks. But just multiples wasn't working out for me. It might be right to put more copies in. I'll leave that to your own discretion and your own preference. Moving over to the mana base, super straightforward stuff. 6 islands, 3 swamps, 4 clear water pathways, 4 temples of deceit, and 4 fabled passage. Fabled passage especially nice in this deck with the ruin crabs. Play your cards right, and you can mill twice in the same turn. Of course, the fetch counts as a land play, so you would play out the fabled passage, you would fetch, get your double mill, get an unhappy opponent. Anyway, let's take this deck into the arena and we'll see how it goes. All right, opponent going first. Us with a very slow hand. Nah, we gotta mull this. This is better. We'll keep this. Still kind of slow, but you take what you can get. Let's see, what do we pitch here? We'll do it like this. With the opening hand of champions, or at least one champion, hopefully not champions, we'll be in trouble. Pop out a crab. See what happens. they swing, we'll let them come in. We don't want to lose our crab. Yeah, it was an opening opening hand of champions. Hopefully just 2, not 3. 3 and we might as well scoop. Still not blocking. I want my crab value, darn it. Next turn I'll block. Alright. Here comes the crabs, baby. Let's just do this now. Oh, we still can. I guess we can do it any time, but... we are not attacking. And hopefully, we can make it to the next turn with at least 1 crab. But I have a feeling we're losing them both. Because we can't be eating all this damage. Can't be doing it. It is not in our best interest. Okay, that we saw coming. Do they get rid of the other one? They do. No. It's sad, but it is what it is. So, let's save the Thieves Guild Enforcer as a surprise. What do we do here? Yeah, I think black is more in demand. So yeah, let's go ahead and play out the Wind Robber. Okay, I got no qualms. Throw on the Wind Robber under the bus, but not before we get our value. That's helpful, but not game-changing. Guess I forgot to ambush with the Enforcer. Doesn't matter. Would have died. First strike. Oh, it's still got an F-ton of cards in their deck. So they're probably going to get us. Do we hold the Cacophony and hope for a Sea Gate Stormcaller? Would be better. Yeah, I think we just get Lurrus. Pass the turn. Opponent's stuck on 2 lands, though, so that might work to our benefit. Coming in hot. Double champion. I'm okay doing this. We'll do this first. Yeah, at this point, we just want to see all their lands go bye-bye. Mill those lands away. But we try to buy time. Opponent playing out every card they can that costs 2 or less. So far, it's been shocks. Alright. Still far away from being able to effectively mill them. But we gotta do this. We gotta do it. We can get back a crab. That's a little harder for these champions to punch through. And do we do this or do we do Aghademes? We'll do Aghademes tap. because we can't really play it anyway until we have 3 black, which we now have. Throw a crab in front of one of them, but I do want to keep Lurrus. Alright, we get to keep Lurrus. So it becomes tempting now to play crab from the graveyard. Is that the best play? I don't care. I'm doing it. Sometimes you just gotta do what feels right. Even if you know it to be wrong. Not actually convinced it's wrong, though. Let's get in there, get some life gain. Okay, there's a 3rd land. No! Now they're just gonna go crazy on us. We know they have no good attacks, though, because they're tapped out. Wind Robber's not terrible. Never terrible, actually, when the graveyard is that stacked. Cacophony can be kicked, but it wouldn't really do us much at this point. It would only get 10 cards. I think the better play here is to throw out an Enforcer. I think at this point we're going to want to just soak up the impending Embercleave. You do have to think about sequencing with this deck. I'm going to sack this because we could use anything here. That's not really going to do it, though. I was hoping for a kill spell. But we're milling like mad now. What do they go? Oh yeah, there we go. We put them in the range. Exacxies. I love it. They hate it, I'm sure. Oh, I don't mean to laugh. That's mean. Playing mill is mean. Alright, on the play. Hand looks good enough. It's keepsy. Opponent on Lurrus and Dimir colors, so could be looking at the mirror here. Ooh, yeah. Opponent about to have a bad case of the crabs. Wouldn't be surprised to see them drop some on us, though. Nope, no crab. Nobody plays a land before a crab if they've got it. Speaking of which, might see a lofty. Yep. That's okay. We got a backup. However, we're saving it. Instead, we'll ambush with the Thieves Guild Enforcer at the end of turn. She's in. But does she stay? Alright, here we'll drop the crab. See if we can elicit a response. Alright, time to get our crab value. Be really sad to see a extinction event. So before we go into combat, we're going to go ahead and do this. We know they're holding something up. Maybe we can get them to show. There it is. It's okay. All these things can be gotten back with Lurrus eventually. They have a Thieves Guild of their own. Watch double Cacophony go to the graveyard, and that's too bad. Since this does feel like a a battle of mills here. Alright, opponent dumping all their removal. Is that it? We see them bring in Lurrus. We have a Heartless Act ready. How do we want to do this here? I think we're okay to drop this tap. And pass. We're going to bank on them trying to drop Lurrus this turn. Otherwise, it might have been wiser to put it in untapped and hold up into the story. Alright, what's our graveyard looking like? 5? Yeah, they can definitely do something to kill the crab, so we'll let it through. Might have been wise to force their hand, though. Instead, we'll see a Heartless on the Ruin Crab. That's fine. He can come back. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and grab our own Lurrus. Pass the turn. Opponent getting frantic. Frantic Inventory is a pretty wise card to have in your deck right now with all the mill floating around. Still don't want to drop that Lurrus. Alright, that's fine. We're okay with that. We don't want to drop ours yet, do we? Maybe. So we do this. Yeah, we'll go for it. Comes in. What do we grab? What do we grab? How about a crab? Oh, with their own end of the story. That's too bad. Would have really liked to have had a drown in the lock there, but fortune wouldn't be so kind. Now the opponent is gassed up. Hopefully we can get ours in on the next turn. Okay, Lurrus coming in. What are they going to play? We're going to go for the Heartless Act, but they probably have a drown of their own to counter this. If that be the case, then we're going to have to go fishing for one with the Into the Story. If they have it, they're definitely going to use it. Oh, they're going to use it on ours. Alright. Interesting. Agadeems could get all of that back, so maybe we'll get one with our Into the Story. Let's go ahead and do this now. Yeah. How's the deck's looking? We're at 36, they're at 27. They have a bit of a better board than us, though, honestly. Alright, let's drop a robber. Pass the turn. That kept it on top, so we can grind it away with our duelist. Soaring Thought Thief coming in. Sure. Alright. How do we do this? This comes in. I think we do it. Like, hold on. I gotta think this through. The only thing that can block their Wind Robber is my Wind Robber. We can force the sack if we do this, so we'll do that. Okay, there goes our crab. We know they're playing Lofty Denial, so that seeing 2 islands up kind of stinks, but we just have to roll with it. Let's start by into the story. Wait, Lofty can counter. Probably didn't need to do that now, but got twitchy finger. Okay, they're just getting frantic. Definitely doing better on us with cards because of frantic inventory. And see, now I kind of regret tapping that Fable Passage because we did end up drawing a crab. So, let's hold the crab till next turn. It's silly to play it now. We'd rather do this. Actually, for mana efficiency's sake, let's do the crab. Since we can't double spell anyway. Pass the turn. I would love to see Agadim's Awakening. Alright, we're gonna get milled out a little bit here. Alright, let's just throw these guys out. Sure. Negate. Okay. We can fight that with our Drown in the Lock. So I'm gonna do this. Ooh, Call the Death Dweller, not bad either. Ooh, we get back 2 crabs. Actually, I don't feel like a bad idea. We would have to give up on our Drown because they'll fight us. They'll fight us with the negate. We would have to fight back with the Drown, so that's 5 of our mana gone. I'm gonna go for it. I think this is a good line of play. Or wait, is it wiser to get the Thieves Guilds? Yeah, because we got... Oh, now I need to think about this a little more. What's their cards at 16? We could go 9. And then additional 2 off the Soaring Thought Thief. That's 11. So what happens if we grab 2 Thieves Guild Enforcers? I think that's better. I think that's better because we can do more shenanigans that way. All right. Thieves Guild Enforcers it is. Might have been wiser to get Lurrus, yeah, but I'm hoping to close the game out quickly here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted. Is it going to be enough? What are they sitting at? 4? Yeah, I think we got this, homies. Yeah. Awesome. Outmilled the mill. Broke the mirror. All right, on the play. Super serviceable opening hand. We will keep this and go. Probably going to lead out with the Pathway on black. Sets us up for the old Thieves Guild Enforcer ambush. Leading out with a blue end of the blue-red pathway. Let's take a peek. Ooh, okay, yeah, every deck is running some anti-mill tech right now, which is understandable. Completely understandable. Oh, I messed up, didn't I? I did. That's alright. We could have played out the island in a Soaring Thought Thief. Got a little extra mill there. It's okay. That'll let us ambush. I'm probably packing some removal anyway. And they may point it at our Enforcer instead. But I'm not sure, honestly, which rogue we would prefer to lose here. They're both so good. No, we're going to lose that one forever and ever. In exile. Drawing on the lock is always good. Let's see. Do we want to keep up drawing on the lock? I think so. I think what we can do here is play this out tapped. Pass. And now we have the option of drowning in the lock if they play something redonkulous. Or we can drop our second Soaring Thought Thief at the end of turn. Riel. Yeah, she'll be a problem. And yeah, we'll do the same play as last time. If we had an extra blue, we'd have more options here. With the Zulaport Duelist. But instead, we're just going to do this. Always suspicious when opponent passes the turn with 4 lands on tap. Red Sail's not the worst thing. There's the blue. Let's see. Start with a swing. We'll go ahead and bring Lurrus in. Okay, opponent drawing like cray. Just having Lurrus in hand is such a mind screw. Oh, they're just going for it, so we should be able to put Lurrus down. Do we want to, though? We could only pull out something. Yeah, we can't pull anything out currently. So we don't, actually. I'm more a fan of doing this. Swinging here. See a Sea Gate Stormcaller go to the graveyard. And yeah, we just pass. Let's go ahead and flash the Duelist in, even though we got nothing to mill. Or nothing to target for the mill. Just to threaten lethal here. Or a 2-turn clock, rather. Shield's down on Drown in the Lock. That's too bad. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, we'll sack that. We probably have another blitz saved just for that guy, but Wind Robber's so good, we gotta grab him again. Opponent doing an excellent job of refilling their hand off these Frantics. Now with some ground defense. Ooh, and a Sea Gate. Ooh. So we need to have a good turn here, because they're going to have all the options in their toolbox available. Alright, what do we do? Soaring Thought Thief feels like a must. We're gonna lose. No, we can still have Drown and Lock up. Okay. Never mind. We're gonna hold the Maddening Cacophony in case we can grab a Sea Gate Stormcaller. That would make it twice as effective, literally. How do we feel about a Fabled Passage? I think we need something better right now. Go ahead and smash. Alright, see what happens. We cannot Thieves Guild Enforce and Drown in the Lock on this turn, so we only get the option of one. They have 1,000,000 mana. That thing. Okay, so they get an instant or sorcery back. The 21/21 we're not worried about unless they can haste it or some wild stuff. But even then we have a blocker. Sea Gate Stormcaller. So they'll probably go for a blitz. I think yeah, let's just counter it. I don't know if that's right, but we're gonna do that. Alright. Maybe it was that instead. We get the Fabled Passage instead. I guess. So we could bring in the Soaring Thought Thief. We could also sack the Wind Robber, draw a card, bring it back, draw another card. What's better here? We put in the Thought Thief. I think we're lethal, right? Yeah. What am I thinking? That's it. This game. Yep. Sometimes my mind needs to catch up to my mouth. Alright, we got the Ruining Crab opening hand. Double Ruin, double Crab. Definitely gonna keep it. We're gonna go ahead and drop this. It's likely to eat some removal. That's okay. We have a backup. And hopefully we see land 3 pop in to the rescue. Opponent deliberating if they want to blow their early removal on this crab. Would not blame them if they did. Nope, instead they're going to go for the Croxa. So here I think I'm more comfortable getting rid of this duelist. I want to keep my removal. Agadeems will work. Drop this sucker and play this out tapped. The race is on. Opponent with all the Croxes. So here we're going to pitch a Heartless Act. Since Drown in the Lock is strictly better at this point. And we'll put this out. Look at that. Just putting them all in there for him. I am going to just pass the turn. Keep up Drown in the Lock. Fabled Passage would be a sweet draw. Fabled Passage, of course, enabling the double mill. And they're not doing nothing. Alright. Soaring Thought Thief, not bad, but we gotta pass. So they're probably itching to escape a Croxa. We can counter the first one. Nope, they're just gonna kill stuff. That's alright, we'll let that one go. Yeah, it can go. Blood Chief's Thirst will take care of Croxa for 1 mana, so let's keep that. All 4 Croxes in the graveyard. My Kingdom for a Tormod's Crypt. So it's almost certain they go to escape Croxa. They can't do it twice in 1 turn, so let's just pass. Man, they just want to kill everything. Alright, you can have them. We lose our Blood Chief's Thirst. That's alright. It's not the worst thing. Village Rights. Nope, just escaping Crocs. Okay, then. We may actually see village rights yet, but just counter that. We get our dude back. Alright. Clear pathway. Yeah, I feel like we want something better at this point. Go ahead and drop this Wind Robber in. And their graveyard's at 26. We might as well do this. We'll lose our Heartless Act, but that's okay. What can we get back? Well, we could get back Merfolk Wind Robber, if nothing else. They may be able to double discard us here, but I don't think so. Maybe if they can haste their Croxa. Like if they have another... what is it? Claim the Firstborn. It's a neat trick they can do, and that will empty our hand, so hopefully they don't have that. Just gonna be Bone Crusher Giant instead. Another Soaring Thought Thief. Yeah, let's do it. We could sack the Wind Robber. We were confident we had a blue source of mana on top, but I'm not willing to make that bet. Okay, Murderous Riding. We're actually looking at lethal in the air now. Unless they got something else lined up. So now before we take a boatload of damage, might have been wise to block with the Ruin Crab, but let's see if we regret that. It's that last card. I'm getting the Geege. Alright, good game, opponent. Alright, we get to go first with a very playable hand. We'll keep it. Kind of got everything you want in the opener. Actually, wouldn't mind a Ruin Crab, but that's the only complaint you'll get from me on this. Alright, we're gonna lead out with that and wait. Ambush with Thieves Guild Enforcer, a play I'm sure everybody's familiar with by now. This lets us set up a bit of a mill with the Wind Robber. Just saw Scavenger Ooze go. Take a quick peek. So they have Wicked Wolf. Sassy Goose. It's Golden Egg. Alright, Maddening Cacophony would enable all our fun stuff here, wouldn't it? Do we kill their Gilded Goose? I don't think so. We could hold up Drown in the Lock for any attempted murder attempts on our own creatures, but I'm just good to play Cacophony here. What do we put in here? Chainweb Arachnir. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more of these since the bans, with mill becoming so prevalent now. Seems every deck is packing some graveyard tech. It almost feels like I should be packing some Tormod's Crypts, or that lantern, the Soul Guide Lantern. Probably Soul Guide Lantern would be better because it could replace itself if you don't need the graveyard hate. Yeah, see, that might have been a reason to hold up Drown in the Lock. That's alright. Alright. We can sack in response. Get another Cacophony. And we better do this. Let's grab blue. Okay, so now we have options. We can into the story. If nothing else. Put this out for black. That way we have double of each. Let's go ahead and swing. I'm okay to lose this thing. We'll get it back eventually. And pass. Another sassy goose. Driller Chromes, that might be worth countering. Because that would sort of be their way of getting back on board. We counter that. Alright, opponent trading, 2 for 1 though. Not a bad deal for us. So Chainweb Arachnir, we may see escape. What do we want to do? 38 cards in deck. Let's play this out as black. We'll go ahead and bring Lurrus into hand. Go ahead and Cacophone. Arachnir will be able to stop our aerial assault because it'll be massive. It'll have reach. Looks like opponent's escaping it now. We could kill it, but all that would do is buy us a turn. So, what do we want to do? What's in the graveyard, firstly? So, Lurrus could get back. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Which has Death Touch. Courtesy of the opponent's massive graveyard. We'll just hold them off like this. Ooh. Yikes. We don't like that. So now it looks like the mill plan is probably our path to victory. So damage is probably going to be locked off to us, defending. Ooh, Drown in the Lock. Love having those. So I think we Wind Robber. Sack a Robber. I think we just pass. Yeah, we can swing with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. They may, yeah, they may trade there. That's okay. Yeah, it was a mistake to attack with a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Don't know what I was thinking. We can still get there on the mill path, but yeah, that was a total misplay on my part. So we don't want that chain web Ragnar to die because of its wonderful ability to keep killing my flying stuff on recursion. So, believe it or not, I think what I want to do here, just play out a Thieves Guild Enforcer and pass. We can hold up Drown in the lock if we need to counter any obnoxious things. Feasting Troll King. Ugh. And barring anything else, we can just into the story. EOT. Okay, so they're down to 18 cards in deck. Can we do it? I think so. Here comes the Feasting Troll King. Does it haste? Nah, it just comes back. We'll give them a card, though. We'll just take that. Something big coming down. Right, Scavenging Ooze. Another Feasting Troll King. That's a little spooky. So now our clock just got a lot shorter. You never know what you'll get with Into the Story, so. Plus, every card they're drawing does make it a little easier for us. But we kind of have to do it all in the next turn. Which isn't impossible. The deck has its ways. You should hold that up and use it in response. Pretty sure you can do that. To Lurrus trying to cast something from the graveyard. Maybe not. Never the case. So what would be an instant slam dunk for us? Well, Maddening Cacophony and Sea Gate. The Sea Gate Caller wizard lady would do it. None of that. There's the Sea Gate Stormcaller, but we didn't get the other one we needed. So let's think about this. What kind of fun tricks can we do to save our own life here? Anything? Hold on. I need to think about this. Can we mill them in one turn? It doesn't look that way. Game's Awakening. Yeah, not going to do it. So maybe our best bet, actually, is to try to buy one more turn. How do we best do that? We could drown in the lock. We could double drown in the lock. But then we don't have blue mana for anything else. We might as well double Blood Chief's Thirst. Get rid of these kings. Definitely doesn't save us. What keeps us alive? We could mill another 3 off Ruin Crab. 8. Draw. That'll be at 7. I mean, I guess there's ways we can pull this out. We'll see. They pretty much gobbled up all our creatures out of our own graveyard, making Lurrus significantly less useful. Bringing back the Troll King. Gaining life, getting cards. They didn't even have to tap out for that. Another one. All the Troll Kings. Putting us on notice. Definitely have no problems doing this. We'll take the other 5. We're dead anyway if we can't mill them out on the next turn. I think we can, though, actually. I think we got them. Unless they can get rid of our Thieves Guild Enforcer. Because you figure 3 off the land. If they leave our board state alone, we got this. But if they mess with it, we don't got this. So, but what I'm looking at right now is a mill out between the land on the Ruined Crab, Soaring Thought Thief coming down while Enforcer's out, and then the attack. Should all do it. Oh, and then they're drawing cards too, so they're looking for answers right now. They're probably just looking for a Primal Might. Primal Might would do it. At least make things harder for us. Nope, they're just gonna dump hand as a GG. Yeah, see, this is all bad for them. So, despite my litany of misplays, we still managed to do what we set out to do. And that is conquer the opponent through mill. Alright everyone, that does it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you would, please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate it. And definitely come back for the next one. I'm really having fun doing these. And your support is much appreciated, as always. Until the next video, take care.